With Chris Paul leading his team to the NBA Finals at age 36, one of the greatest floor generals the game has ever seen, there might never be another player quite like him, one of the greatest basketball minds, incredible longevity. Remember, CP did have a bunch of injuries throughout his career, one of the toughest players we will ever see, hurt his knee in the 2010 season and had to change a little bit of his play style. Being in a class with the best of the best, very few all-time greats even get a chance to make it past 34 in their playing days, let alone still become viable MVP candidates. Only a few MVP winners have ever won the award that age. How's it going, guys? My name's Wilson. Let's take a look at every MVP candidate age 34 and older that finished top 5 in voting. Starting from decades past, Bill Russell, 1969. His final season turned 35 February 12th of 69. Boston won just 48 games, running on fumes. The head coach, leader, and starting center already had double-digit rings, averaged 10 points, 19 rebounds, 5 assists. After Cousie's retirement, Russell became more of a facilitator, an underrated passer, played 77 games. The NBA also just created the all-defensive team that year, and Russell found himself making first team by season's end. Likely would have made first team all-defense every season of his career, had the worst career record as a player, made sure he retired on top, willed his teammates to perform and overcome the hungry Chamberlain, West, and Baylor's Lakers, averaged 21 rebounds for the final series, led Boston in assists during those finals, played every minute of that series, the definition of wanting to win at all costs. Shockingly didn't make All-NBA team since the two leading voters were centers Wes Unseld and Willis Reed. What a way to go out. While the late great Elgin Baylor, age 34 in the 69 season, wasn't quite the same player after his knee injury in 65, played 76 games, averaged 25 points, 10.5 boards, over 5 assists for a 55 win squad. Because Wes missed 21 games, Baylor finished 5th place, a spot on the All-NBA first team, his last great fully healthy regular season before breaking down and playing just 65 total regular season games the next 3 years combined. Unlike the success of Russell, Baylor sadly struggled the entire 69 playoffs, having 5 games of scoring single digits, just 1 scoring above 30, averaged just 18 points on 40% shooting in the finals. Jerry West clearly the best player on those Lakers. Baylor 15.4 points. The entire playoffs took a significant drop off compared to the 68 postseason. Father time and injuries simply caught up to Elgin. Another big reason why LA fell short to the Celtics again. Wilt Chamberlain twice, 1972 and 1973. 35 years old during the 72 season, still seeking for his first ring with purple and gold. West didn't turn 34 till May 28, while Wilt wasn't even the main offensive option, but a monster on the glass, put up 15 points, 19 rebounds, 64% shooting. Best player in the league, 24-year-old Abdul-Jabbar won the MVP, helped his Bucks win 63 games, while these Lakers still hold this record to this day, winning 33 straight in the regular season. West and Chamberlain literally almost split half the votes, West 44 to Wilt's 36. Third place, the 3 legit contenders, but it was obviously Jabbar's to earn. First time in Wilt's career, he averaged below 20 points per game, but had the best team success, making second team All-NBA, capped off the season, dominating the finals, averaged 19.5 points, 23 rebounds, a memorable Game 5 closeout, 24 points, 27 rebounds, and possibly 8 blocks. Who knows how many rejections the 7-1 Dipper would have averaged, combined with having the tough assignment guarding young Kareem before the finals. While in 73, Chamberlain's final season in the league, averaged 13 points, 18.5 boards, 73% shooting from the field, 36 years old, 4th in MVP voting, behind the young Dave Cowens of the Celtics, Kareem, and Tiny Archibald, all 25 and under. Wilt, the old man, made it back to the finals again, still serious contenders, but New York with a healthy Willis Reed knocked off Wilt's Lakers in 5. Chamberlain averaged just 11.5 points for the series. Despite winning 60 regular season games, West missed 13 with injury. Happy Hairston played just 28. West also played through a hamstring injury those finals. Chamberlain retired from the NBA after having an option year remaining. Many chatters throughout the 80s. Wilt said he had offers from numerous teams to sign him in his 40s and even 50s. Wilt distills Chamberlain, a legend in all areas of life, athletically, socially, and privately. Of course, from passing the torch from one great big man to another, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, insanely durable with the skyhook, most unstoppable shot all time. The Lakers didn't fully become Magic's team till the mid-80s. Although Johnson was the clear leader of Showtime, Jabbar was still better in many part of the early 80s. The 36-year-old turned 37 right before the playoffs, but at his age to finish 4th in MVP voting, all behind Magic, Bird, and Bernard King. His averages of 21.5 points, over 7 rebounds, 2 blocks, 58% shooting. Jabbar in his mid-30s wasn't quick or athletic like his Milwaukee Bucks days. Similar to how older 2010s Tim Duncan wasn't like the early 2000s Duncan, but still super effective, able to play 80 games. Johnson just 67 games. Jabbar even better in the postseason, averaged 24 and 8, 2 blocks on 55% shooting. Because Magic wasn't at his best in those finals, Kareem was the leading scorer 4 of those 7 games, including the last 2, 30 points in the 6 games, forcing a Game 7 where he dropped 29. Always knew when to show up, more than worthy of still being an MVP candidate. His age combined with making All-NBA first team, defensive second, while breaking the all-time scoring record the same season. While 85, Kareem 37 in the regular season, averaged 22 points, 8 boards, 2 blocks, 60% shooting. Teammate Magic second for MVP, Bird 1, Moses 3rd place. LA won 62 games, Cap put up 21, 8, and 2 blocks in the postseason, made second team behind Moses at the center spot. The Lakers 0-8 all-time against the Celtics, heading to the 85 finals. Jabbar also looking to avenge his 1974 finals loss to the franchise, despite Cap and Magic having multiple titles already and both a finals MVP to their name, but judged primarily by their failures in the finals against Boston. The 84 loss, they heard it all season long. Especially if social media would have existed, the narrative would have been the Lakers will never beat the Celtics in the finals. Many questions if the Lakers were lucky to have played in the Western Conference and not go through the Celtics and Bucks amongst other good teams in the East. Game 1, the Boston Massacre, 34-point beatdown. Jabbar 12-3, embarrassing performance, but absolutely dominated the next 5 games, turned back the clock, averaged nearly 26 points, 9 rebounds, over 5 assists, a block and a half, becoming the oldest player to ever win finals MVP. Kareem also outplayed regular season MVP Bird, averaged more points, rebounds, assists, and blocks on over 60% shooting, proved why age is just a number, earned his second finals MVP. The following season, Kareem's greatness wasn't done. 38 years old, averaged 23.5 points, 56% shooting, played 79 games, another 62-win season, finished behind Bird, Wilkins, teammate Magic, and Houston's Hakeem. First team All-NBA, incredible, while Dream made second team. Not to mention, Jabbar sensational in the postseason, averaged 26 points, 6 rebounds, almost 2 blocks, still the #1 scorer for Showtime, where he turned 39 that postseason, but outplayed by the younger 23-year-old Hakeem in the conference finals, losing to Houston in 5 games. After Jabbar, it wouldn't be until the great Michael Jordan, 33 for most of the 97 season, but played parts of it at 34 years old, so that counts. MJ averaged almost 30 points, 6 rebounds, 49% shooting for the 69-win Bulls, second in MVP voting, robbed by Karl Malone, but never discouraged. MJ absolutely dominated those finals, beating the Jazz in 6 games, winning finals MVP. Jordan and Malone's greatness at their age, when other stars born around their time, like the Charles Barkleys, Elijah Wants, and Ewings of the world, clearly slowed down, nobody else like the younger guys in Grant Hill, Gary Payton, or Shaq had a chance of winning MVP those 2 seasons. Jordan aged 34 and 35, Malone officially turned 34 the summer of 97, both first and second in MVP voting, both first team All-NBA and first team All-Defense. During the 88 season, when the face of the league during the 90s were all in their mid-20s, who could have predicted 10 years later, 2 guys in their mid-30s battling for the MVP award? Jordan and Malone, both their teams won 62 games, knew their roles. Malone might have been 1 for 2 in the 97 and 98 MVP battle, but Jordan 2 for 2 in the finals MVP results and championship. Will always have the bragging rights over Karl. MJ at 35 also played in a much slower era. Pippen purposely got surgery late, Rodman a shell of himself, Kukoc missed 30 games, Longley 24. There's a reason why the documentary The Last Dance was so epic. While after Jordan retired, the lockout year, 35-year-old Malone still consistently dominated, tied with the #1 seed, 37 and 13, averaged 24, 9 and 4. Not his best numbers, but was the safest bet for MVP. Alonzo Mourning was close, but Miami's record's not as good, while 22-year-old Tim Duncan was still too young for many to have serious considerations. Malone didn't stop there. In 2000, 36 years old, the greatest 36-year-old season perhaps, he did average 25.5 points, 9.5 5.5 boards, 4 assists, 51% from the field, finished behind Zoe, KG, and Prime Shaq. Malone led his Jazz to 55 wins with pretty much the same supporting cast from the finals years. Malone averaged over 30 points in the first round against Sonics, fell to the title contending Blazers in the semis. Looking at all the best 36-year-olds all time, although 36-year-old LeBron missed plenty of regular season games and bounced in round 1, Malone at 36 wasn't hurt, went further in the playoffs, and averaged more points in the lower scoring era. After Malone in 2000, basically all the younger guys battling for the MVP award, the next generation. 13 years later, the late great Kobe Bryant, 34 years old in season 17, absolutely balling before tearing his Achilles, played 78 games before his body broke down, averaged 27.3 points, 5.5 boards, 6 assists, 1.5 steals. The front office hired Mike D'Antoni instead of Phil Jackson. Dwight Howard banged up all season, wasn't himself. Pau Gasol didn't fit in D'Antoni's system. 38-year-old Steve Nash finally slowed down, derailed by injuries, pretty ineffective. The team struggled, going 17-25 at the lowest point of the season. Kobe single-handedly carried LA to the playoffs, guaranteed his team was going to make the postseason, and there was no stopping him. Had many monster dunks, went off for the final 2 months of the regular season. The game before he tore his Achilles, Kobe dropped 47 in a win against Portland, the last epic season of his career. Rest in peace, Mamba. Next up, 35-year-old LeBron James. First season with Anthony Davis, James the engine to the offense, basically played the point guard position. Although he didn't win the MVP, came in second place, James did add the assist leader award to his insanely impressive accomplishments. Year 17, averaged 25, 8, and 10, the Lakers' #1 seed in the West. Since Giannis was having an insanely efficient year, blowing out many teams, Milwaukee finished with a better overall record. The Greek Freak had the better numbers, but James's excellence and dominance was on full display. Averaged 30.2 points, 8.6 rebounds, 10 assists, 55% from the field. The last 10 games before the lockdown, was heating up in the MVP debates before COVID took over. The award votings did not factor in the bubble play. James was playing his best basketball towards late February and early March. His MVP momentum ended there. If the last 4 weeks before the pandemic didn't happen, Giannis might have won over 95% of the first place votes instead of 85%. James proved his brilliance, captured title #4 in the bubble, a super efficient all-around postseason, played great in every series. 2021, 36-year-old Chris Paul, who did earn 2 first-place votes, finished 5th place. Behind Jokic, Embiid, Curry, and Giannis, Paul's impact and leadership changed the culture of the Suns franchise. Phoenix missed the postseason 10 straight years. After a successful 1 year with OKC, Paul helped lead the Suns to the second best record in the NBA, 51-21 overall. Many thought Phoenix was going to be between a 4 to 8 seed. Some didn't think they were even going to make the playoffs. All the young guys followed Paul's lead, all sacrificed and played their role. Booker had 5 straight losing seasons to start off his career. The first 4 won just between 19 to 24 games. Many questioned whether deep book scoring translated to team success. That evidence already proven this season. With this video being made after Paul helped lead the franchise to the 2021 finals, his first ever appearance, CP's longevity, consistency, and body of work being in the same class as Bill Russell, Elgin Baylor, Wilt Chamberlain, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Michael Jordan, Karl Malone, Kobe Bryant, and LeBron James as the only players at age 34 and up to finish top 5 in MVP voting. Amazing accomplishment. While Paul turned 36 near the end of the regular season, only him, Karl Malone, Kareem, and Wilt Chamberlain, the only all-time greats at that age to even sniff top 5 in MVP voting at 36 years old. Malone being the oldest to win the award at 35, Jabbar the oldest to finish top 5 at 38. All these guys being big men and physically strong, while Paul just 6 foot and 170 pounds to still play at this level. CP3 deserves all the praise and credit in the world as he looks to capture his first title. Thank you so much for watching this video. What are your thoughts on CP3 potentially winning his first title? Let me know in the comments below. Subscribe for more content. I love all of you. See you next time.